Welcome back to ARC Salt Lake. The Promontory Club is hosting its annual grant reception. It's called the Happiest Hour, and the group helps out nonprofits from the Wasatch Front and back communities. The group is handing out $500,000 in grants, and we are joined this morning by the general manager, Jonathan Fillman, to learn about tonight's event and what the Promontory Club does. Hey, thanks for being with us, Jonathan. And let's start off with just explain what the Promontory Club is.
Absolutely. Great question. First of all, thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate being here and getting a little airtime with you. So the Promontory Club is a private residential neighborhood. We are 7,200 acres with family-centric amenities. There's really something for everybody here. We have 6 restaurants, 3 championship golf courses, 2 ski lodges, a kids club, tennis. There's really just something for everybody all through all stages of life. And we're a big community. We have about 1,200 members here, just over 1,000 homes, I believe, built out already, and we're still growing.
Okay, where exactly are you guys?
We're right here in Park City.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get to a business at hand here. You have a special nonprofit mission, and you have an event coming up tonight. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So here at Promontory, we have the Promontory Foundation. It was founded in 2006 by Francis Najafi, our CEO of Pivotal and our founder. And he created the Promontory Foundation as just a simple way for the community here in Promontory to come together and really give back to the greater Park City community. Over the past, 2 decades, it's been really extraordinary to see how the residential commitment to Park City through their philanthropy and giving to the foundation has grown. You know, we've awarded over $4 million in grants to local nonprofits in Park City. And with the matching grant dollars that are generated, that equates to just over $11 million. So at tonight's Happiest Hour grant reception, we will, as you mentioned earlier, we will award $500,000, which is really impressive. Actually, since 2009 and 2025, the average that was awarded was closer to 200,000. So this is really a record year for us, and we're so appreciative of our residents. And as I said, just their giving nature. So yeah, we've got 45 award recipients that'll be getting some money tonight. We can't wait to do that.
So what type of nonprofits do you help? Who's eligible?
Sure. Yeah. That's a great question. So typically where we focus is arts and culture and social services. So arts, culture, education, and social services. So we're supporting organizations that, they're feeding families, they're providing childcare, they're helping victims of domestic violence, supporting people with disabilities, providing mental health resources for young people, and enriching the arts and education throughout the community, which I believe is all encompassing for a thriving community. So this would include organizations such as the Kimball Arts Center, or something near and dear to my heart, PC Tots, the Peace House, the Christian Center of Park City, the NAC National Ability Center, Live Like Sam, KPCW. I could go on, but just to name a few.
Yeah, and this is specifically to the Park City area then?
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes, it's to support that area, just kind of right outside Promontory's gates.
Okay, and how can nonprofits get involved in this whole thing?
Yeah, great question. So we have a simple grant application process that we put out. I forget exactly when we submit the application process, but it's a simple application process. We received 56 applications this year, which is more than we typically receive. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be able to award 45 of those tonight.
And tell us a little bit about tonight's event. When people go there, what are they going to see? What is it going to be like?
Yeah, great question. So at tonight's event, it starts at 4 p.m. and it'll end just right around 6 o'clock, but it'll be all of these nonprofits coming together. We have a few of our directed donors getting up to speak. That is the residences or the residents here at Promontory will get up to speak about some of the nonprofits that they're supporting and be able to help award that grant and why it means so much to them, because it's really personal to the individuals and the owners here. And really, it's just a time for all of us to come together as a community and be thankful for what we're able to do and support the greater Park City area.
So $500,000 is the most that you've actually handed out. How do you go about raising this money? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. So how we go about raising it is once a year, we have a big annual fundraiser, and I have to give a shout out to our foundation board. So we have a number of people that live here in Promontory. They're either full-time or part-time, but they serve on the foundation member committee. Cindy Finestone, Jennifer Simon, Sandra Moore, Gina Stryker, Bonnie Kirkpatrick, and Robin Milne, as well as our whole events team here at Promontory, and then a number of the executive team. We all support the planning process about 6 months out, and then we host a big annual fundraiser. This year was really, really special. We held our annual fundraiser on July 3rd at the Promontory Club's Equestrian Center, which is just such a fitting backdrop for this year with the country celebrating its 250th anniversary. We held an event called Boots and Bolos. And so it was a Western evening under the stars with live music, dancing, great food. And then how we raised the money is through the ticket sales. So we actually had a record number of residents join us this year. We sold just over 500 tickets. To put that into perspective, in years past, we've sold between 300 and 350 tickets. And so part of the money is raised through ticket sales. And then we have both a silent auction and a live auction where we auction off various experiences that our owners and members can bid on. And then, to be honest, we have a lot of residents here that just want to write a check. They see what we're doing. They see how impactful it is in the community. They see how valuable it is for these nonprofits and these charities. And they just write us a check, and that's how they choose to give back. And those are really the three ways that we raise this level of support.
Yeah, a lot of generosity involved there. Tell us about Promontory, the club, or where this community is. Are you still developing it, or is it pretty much set?
Yeah, great question. So Promontory's has been built out over the last decade and a half, but we still have around 450 home sites that we need to build. So we are far from done, but definitely have a pretty large community base already. So if you're looking for land, give us a call.
Yeah, what is the long-term goal of this nonprofit mission that you're on?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'll answer that, kind of in two parts. I think the long-term goal is just we want to be in business forever, right? And we want to continue to see Park City thrive and be healthy, and we want to do our best as a primary and second home community to support, the spectrum of needs across arts, culture, education, and social services. And one of the ways that we're doing this is the second part, is with the influx of donations that we got this year, we are able to start a Promontory Foundation endowment with about $1 million. And that's really going to speak to the sustainability and taking the long-term view and commitment to supporting the greater Park City area.
Well, Jonathan Fillman, thank you very much for enlightening us on your community there, as well as what you're doing for nonprofits, and certainly noble that you can direct that type of activity to the folks who really need it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're very thankful. It's probably the thing I'm most proud of, is to work alongside like-minded individuals with residents here at Promontory that really want to give back and support Park City.